Hey guys, so now we're going to move on to talking about translating expressions and equations. So in order to translate statements into expressions and equations, you have to identify the keywords that indicate the operation, and then you write the numbers or variables in the correct order. So here are some of the keywords. So in the first one, you have the sum of, let's just use the variable x, and the number 2 can be written as x plus 2. So sum is adding. In the next one, you have the difference of, and I'll just use the same letters and numbers, x and 2 is written x minus 2. So that one is subtracting. The product of x and 2 can be written as 2x, which is multiplying here, right? So when you see product, whenever you see product, you can write it as multiplying. And then the last one, the quotient of x and 2 is another word for dividing. So you would write that one x divided by 2, also known as divided. So that one's dividing. So let's look at a few of our examples. Write each verbal phrase as an algebraic expression. So the sum of 8 and t, since sum means plus, can be written 8 plus t. The quotient of g and 15 can be written g divided by 15. It could also be written g divided by 15 this way. The product of 5 and b can be written as 5b, or it can be written as 5 times b. The difference of 32 and x can be written as 32 minus x. Okay, so those are the key words for adding and subtracting and multiplying and dividing when it comes to expressions. Then there's a couple more keywords that I'm going to highlight here. So one of the other keywords that you will see when you're trying to write an expression is the word less than. Less than is when the first number is subtracted from the second number. And you will also see the word more than, which is where the first number is added to the second number. So more than is adding, less than is subtracting. And this is important here too. Switch the order of the terms. So when you see the more than or less than, that is telling you to switch the order of the terms than how they have written it. So in the statement, it says, write the phrase $5 less than Jennifer earned as an algebraic expression. Well, $5 less than Jennifer earned, we have the word less than in there. So we're going to say, well, let D represent the number of money Jennifer earned, and you would write it as D minus 5. Okay? So notice that it did switch it. So the money that she has earned comes first, and then you subtract the 5. Same with the next one. In the next example, it says 8 more than x. So we are going to switch it. We're going to put the x first, and we're going to say this is the same as x plus 8. Okay? It switches the order of the expression. Same with the next one. We have 6 less than p. So we're going to take that p and we're going to put it up front. So we have p minus 6, since less than means subtracting. 14 less than f is the same thing as f minus 14. P more than 10 is the same thing as 10 plus P. Okay, so we're switching the order of things. We're putting the second part first. 3 more runs than Pirates scored. Well, this one I have to assign a letter. So if I assign the letter P for Pirates scored, then what I'm going to put is P more than means plus 3. And that's how I'd write that one. 12 less than some number in the last one, well, I need to assign a variable for some number because I don't know what it is. So I'm just going to call it x. And then what I'm going to say is x less than means subtracting. So x is going to come first, minus 12. So the second part ends up coming first. And sometimes you'll have to assign your own variable, meaning your own letter. Okay? In the next one, we're going to talk about, on the next page, we're going to talk about keywords when we're writing equations. So whenever you see these words, when you see the word is, equals, or is equal to, then you're going to substitute that with an equal to sign. So basically, whenever you see those words, you're going to put an equal to sign in. So let's see what this looks like. Arthur is 8 years younger than Janet. Since Arthur is 8 years younger, we have the word is right here. We don't have variables, so we're going to assign variables. Let's call Arthur A and Janet J. So we would write this as an equation. A is means equal to. Arthur is 8 years younger than Janet. So since we have the than, we're going to put Janet first, minus 8, right? Because she's 8 years younger. Okay, let's look at the next one. Kelly's test score is 6 points higher than Mike's. Okay, so we need to assign variables first. So let's assign a variable for Kelly's test score, and let's call that K. Let's assign a variable for Mike's test score right here, and let's call that M. And then we have the key word here is, which is going to have an equal to sign. All right, so then we write our equation. K is, which is equal to 6 points higher than Mike. Since we have the word than in there, we're going to put M first for Mike, plus 6. So our final equation is K equals M plus 6. Look at number 13. 5 more than a number is 6. Well, we don't know what the number is, so we're going to call it X. Okay? So when we go to write this equation, we have 5 more than a number, so X plus 5 is means equals 6. So is equals and then 6. So that one would just be X plus 5 equals 6. In number 14, we're combining everything here. We've got a lot of keywords to notice here. So first we have the product of 7 and B. So remember, product means multiplying. Then we have the word is, which means equal to or is equal to. And we have another number. So when we write this equation, we're going to say product of 7 and B is 7 times B, also known as 7B, is equal to, we're going to put an equal to sign, 63. So that's how that equation looks. 7b is equal to 63. Or you could also write this as 7 times b is equal to 63. Okay, let's use a couple more of those keywords. Again, we're looking for keywords when we're going to translate. So in number 15, it says, the sum of r and 45, well, remember sum is adding, right, is, which means equal to 79. So when we write this equation, we're going to say the sum of r and 45, r plus 45, is means equal 79. And that's it. In the next one, you have the quotient of x and 7. Well, remember, quotient means dividing. And then you have is equal to, there's your keywords there, 13. So quotient means dividing. So you can write it as x divided by 7 like this is equal to 13. Or you could write it as x divided by 7 like this is equal to 13. However, you will most often see it written like this in Algebra 1. Okay? Then there is the last set of keywords that you'll have to know when you're writing expressions and equations. And those keywords are twice and half and double. So you're going to see these words, twice, double, half. Twice and double mean the same thing. They mean 2 times a number or multiplying by 2. Half means half is taking something in half. So in other words, you're dividing it by 2. Okay? So when we see these in our next example, it says twice as many points as Bob. Okay, so Bob, let's say that Bob's points, we have to assign him a variable and let's just call it B. Okay, so if I want to do twice as many points as Bob, I'm going to say 2B. Or you could write it as 2 times B because twice is 2 times a number. Okay, when it says half the age of Sally, if we assign a variable to for Sally and we call Sally S, then to take half of the age number is dividing that number by 2. So you'd say S divided by 2. That's how I'd write half of Sally's age. So addition phrases, so this kind of sums it all up into a table for you at the end here. So you have your set of addition phrases. So these are all addition. More than, some, increased by, total, those all mean addition. You're going to use the plus sign when you go to write those expressions. Okay? Like x plus 8. Then you have in this table your subtraction phrases. So these are all your subtraction phrases. If it says the word difference, if it says decreased by, less than, subtracted from, those are all going to be written as subtraction. Okay? Then you have your multiplication phrases, which are right here. If you see the word twice, remember that's 2 times a number. Product is a multiplication. Multiplied by and times. Those all mean that you're going to do multiplication. Okay? And then lastly, you have your division phrases. So your division phrases are quotient, divided by, or ratio. If it says ratio, then that means division. So you're going to be doing division with those phrases whenever you see those keywords, and it's going to look like the expression that you have, z divided by 3. Look at that one. Okay? So these are all examples. This table is really helpful. I would use this table when you are trying to solve the problems in ALEX. Go ahead and attempt the practice problems in ALEX, and let me know if you have any questions. Good luck.